Cafe.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Café Anyway. I'm your host, Mike Matthews. I do this show for you to make you smart person like
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I am broadcasting from Podcaster Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. It's Café Anyway. It's episode 2725. What the hey? 2,725 of these I have done. Man, that means that Mike Matthews is dumb. But he likes to have fun. That's what I meant to say.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
With the fun podcast called Mike's Daily Podcast. Somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. And you know what else we do?
Mike's
We find out
Daily
interesting things.
Podcast.
Like what?
Yeah!
Jewel. Remember Jewel? Not the smoking thing, the vaping thing, but Jewel. You took your coat off. It stood in the rain. You're always crazy like that. Yes, that Jewel. Well, now I'm hearing Kevin Costner Jewel rumors. That's how do these rumors get started? They're started by the crazy people. I think is how that went, but yes. So we'll see how that goes with those two. Amazon is bringing back the Christmas catalog. The Amazon.com toy catalog. So it would be it's like a thing that you could read at the table. Now, the Amazon catalog evokes memories of a retail juggernaut from another era. That would be Sears Roebuck. 100 years ago, it published the first Sears Wish Book, a holiday catalog. And now, like Amazon, Sears customers appreciate the convenience of ordering by mail or phone. Sears even let customers pick up their orders in person. Does that sound familiar?
And here's today's podcast picture.
We are going to go with a picture from recently, I think from that awesome trip that my lovely lady friend and I took recently. You can see that wonderful trip up the Northern California coast at mikesdailypodcast.com. And we took our cat, Rocky the cat, the traveling cat. A cat that did not like to travel, actually. He was not so into it, but it was a fun adventure. So see it at mikesdailypodcast.com and all the other past podcast pictures, explosive plosives on this show. And that's the late great Basil the Boxer, who went with me on a similar trip. We retraced some of the places we went to together with Rocky the cat. But the late great Basil the Boxer, there he is. And so see pictures of him and Rocky and everybody else, mikesdailypodcast.com. I drink coffee. I drank a coffee today. I'm still a little woo. I have to drink coffee every day because when I stop, I get the headache. But yesterday, I spilt coffee all over my desk at work. I took out a couple of papers with the coffee. Why are there... I hate having papers on my desk. Hate it. Especially, this is 2023. There should be no papers on my desk. It should all be in the cloud. It should be all in the drive, the laptop, or wherever. But no, people still like to print out paper. It's ridiculous. And I guess Amazon's printing out these catalogs. But I was great. That just helped me clean everything off my desk because I had the coffee go everywhere. And two of my coworkers were able to help me. I felt so... Because as an only child, whenever you make a mess, it's you have to clean it up yourself. If you want it to be clean, or if your parents have yelled at you to clean up your mess. But you and you alone. I remember so many things that, I think I'll make myself some toast. I set the whole kitchen on fire. I had to clean it up myself because I was an only child. But Sears, so they used to let customers pick up their orders in person. At its height, 1 in 5 Americans shopped Sears regularly. 1 in 5. Well, Amazon killed Sears. You're welcome. Because of retail overlap between online and physical stores, Amazon's physical retail efforts on the things that people typically don't do online, buy groceries and seek medical attention, that's what they're trying to do in the physical space, as we see. And I am in the podcast space, and you and I are listening to podcasts at this moment together in the podcast space. Isn't that fascinating? As these people are drinking and throwing dishes around and having a wonderful time here at Café Anyway.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I don't know. It's sometime soon. I'm going to be going to the town of Berkeley
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
with my lovely lady friend. And I will let you know if it gets interesting, if my car gets stolen, or broken into, or what. But we're supposed to be going. I was going to take her there, escort her to her Christmas party, which I'm not invited to. That's okay. She's not invited to my company Christmas party, so it worked out. But I'm going to drive her there, and then we're going to do something fun in Berkeley. If you have a suggestion of what we can do for fun in Berkeley, why don't you give me a call? The number is at my website, mikesdailypodcast.com, or I guess I could say it, 510-228-4640.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
One of my coworkers is Filipino-American, and he was telling me about Tagalog. I think or Tagalog? Tagalog. That might be how you say it. It's the language of the Philippines. Predates the Spaniards coming over. And he was teaching me a little bit of Tagalog. So that was interesting. And the other thing I learned today was about getting sucked into the Bitcoin world. People are doing it now. People forget about 4 years ago, maybe 3, right after Thanksgiving. Suddenly it was like, oh, people are just sitting around after eating all that food, and they suddenly went online or went through their phone and saw, oh, cryptocurrency. I think I'll buy some, as we go outside a Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley Mont.
Anyway,
The last place on earth. So suddenly the price for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency went through the roof. And then a couple months later, it went down through the floor. It bottomed out. People lost all kinds of money. Well, now it's on the upward swing again. And people are, oh. And it's a roller coaster. It's such a crazy roller coaster. I don't understand what it is. I heard one guy in the financial industry, the financial world, say, what are you buying when you buy cryptocurrency? It's not like you're buying, I think I'll buy Coca-Cola. You know that they've got all these products, Coca-Cola does. Don't they still own Doritos? And they own all these beverages, and they're known all around the world. You've got a thing. But when you buy cryptocurrency, it's like you're buying air. Very expensive air right now. But he was touting checking out coinranking.com. He said that was a pretty good website to go to kind of give you the whole expansive understanding of if you are going to buy cryptocurrency, because Matt Damon told you
how's the mic, Mike?
that what to expect, where it's gone, where it's been, how far down it's gone, what rocky road it has traversed. By the way, Honest Trailers, one of the funniest YouTube channels. So well done. So amazing. They poked fun at Oppenheimer, and Matt Damon is in it. And in it, he plays like a U.S. general who is totally promoting and behind a technology he doesn't understand. And then they cut from that to Matt Damon's commercial for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, whatever it was, and how in that he's promoting a technology he doesn't understand. It's like, hey, Matt Damon's doing something he's familiar with, promoting something that he's not familiar with, that he doesn't quite understand, but he thinks it's the best thing. Right now, though, he might look smart.
Is that why you're bald, Mike?
At this point. But shoppers are worried about the economy. So they're doing doom spending. I found this out from Rob Black. I produce his podcast, The Rob Black Show. You can hear him on the radio Monday through Friday in the Bay Area in the morning on AM 1220 KDOW, and he is on television on KRON in the 9 o'clock hour, Monday through Thursday. Americans are stressed out about their finances, and some are coping by spending more money. I would have to say that lovely lady friend who's been on the show has done some of that. We've probably all done some of that. More than a quarter of Americans are doom spending in order to manage their worries. Yes, the anxiety is palpable, and it has been since COVID. But people have worries about the macroeconomy and foreign affairs as well these days. Top concerns include inflation, cost of living increases, unaffordable housing, and not having enough money for small luxuries or even basic necessities.
It's a trap!
Supposedly, speaking of that unaffordable housing, California had, according to Redfin, the worst prices for houses, the most unattainable prices for houses. But apparently, from what I heard, Redfin said that other cities in the U.S., the prices came down. So if you were, hey, I don't give a hoot about California, and you were interested in maybe moving somewhere else, but near a city, you had better chances of doing it. But back to doom spending, apparently 35% of Gen Zers, you youngins that have the world in your hand, and you make all the songs
Mike is awesome
on the pop charts. Go to the number one, the top 10. All those songs in the top 10 are because of you. Taylor Swift being the biggest thing on the planet Earth is because of you. Webster's Dictionary having to now enter into the lexicon the word Swifties is because of you.
The Haley moment of the week.
So Gen Zers, 35% are doing doom spending, and then for millennials, almost half are admitting to doom spending, about 43%. Younger generations are concerned about their future wages, job security, and ability to land a lucrative job. Sounds like how I was back in my 20s. The rise in doom spending also comes as more Americans dig into their pandemic-era savings, if they have any savings. Didn't drive as much. I was talking to a lady yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine. Said a woman had broke his pride. No, I wasn't talking to Tom Petty. I wish I was. The late, great Tom Petty. No, I was talking to the lady who cleaned my teeth. Went to the teeth cleaning yesterday, and she was saying how she drives this one mountain path in the Bay Area to get from Pleasanton over to Fremont. And she said there was a guy right on her tail the whole time, just driving, like practically tailgating her, bumper to bumper, that kind of thing. And he then, so that's intimidating as heck. And it's illegal. It's illegal. Everybody's forgotten that that's illegal. You can't ride up on somebody like that.
Right.
And then to further show their agitation, they began passing her on the right. In other words, going into the shoulder. And that you shouldn't, as you know, drive in the shoulder. You don't know unless you absolutely have to, but there's probably all kinds of things there. It's not the part of the road that gets cleaned the most, so you got lots of rocks, lots of debris. You're kicking that up with your tires. It's a hazard. But no, he goes ahead and passes in the right lane, in the shoulder, and he gets in front of her, but he can't go any further because in front of her are like 3 cars. So there's 3 cars, and so he's got nowhere to go, and now he's stuck. So what does she do? She said she turned on her high beams and blinded him the whole way. Now, I'm in a smaller car, so if somebody is behind me with ultra bright headlights, it blinds me. So I do the little thing with that rear view mirror where I tilt it up. So it basically blinds the roof of my car. And I'm hoping a little bit is bouncing back in that driver's eye. But that's the problem with having a smaller car. That's gas efficient. Oh, the money I've spent with gas. My pandemic era spending went down when I got that car. And the fact that I wasn't driving as much during the pandemic, which she was saying, that was terrible. The pandemic was awful. And then she blamed it all on the government.
What was that all about?
And it's funny because people that blame it all on the government, they think they're blaming Biden when really they're blaming Trump. Because why people just forget this stuff? This amnesia people have. No, Trump was president during the pandemic. The big important part, 2020, he was there. Fauci worked for him. He was there. And I understand Fauci's got all kinds of old things. All kinds of things. I can't defend Fauci anymore, some of the stuff I've heard. I'm like, okay, all right. Yes, this guy's a lifelong career medical advisor, consultant, disease specialist, quote unquote. But he's also had to make money by making partnerships with some nefarious type people. But hey, that being said, I got my COVID shot last week. And that being said, the left ear on my head, the left ear has been clogged up since last week. And that was interestingly when I had COVID a year ago. That's what happened back then. My left ear closed up. So I don't know if it's COVID related. If that's how my body deals with COVID, is it clogs up my left ear? Not sure. But it's interesting. I got the shot on my left side. I don't know if that's all related. So she was blaming Fauci, blaming everything. But I did find it interesting. As she was cleaning my teeth, she did a good job. But we did both agree that traffic was a lot nicer back then during the pandemic. You could get around so much quicklier. And then she told me the story about the guy tailgating her. And you know, she says she's got a camera in her car that always films whoever's in front of her. So she's got proof, basically, of this guy. And I'm sure, you know, license plate back there, too. She could basically report him for and then have actual proof of what a horrible driver he is. And maybe we should all get that. We should all have cameras going on our cars just like the police do. So the rise in doom spending also comes as more Americans dig into their pandemic era savings, excess savings from the pandemic, which peaked at $2.1 trillion in August of 2021.
Why the hell did I yelp
It
that?
fell to just 148 billion. So from 2 trillion down to 148 billion this September, which amounts to a loss of more than 90% in 2 years. Wow. 90. Credit card debt has reached a record high this year too, nearing $1.1 trillion for the third quarter of 2023. People just charging because of inflation.
What is the matter with you?
And, Steph Curry is joining George Clooney, Kendall Jenner, and Ryan Reynolds among the latest big names to take a shot at the wine and spirits business. If you become a big celebrity, it's not perfume or cologne anymore. It's booze. They're all plagiarizing Sammy Hagar. Sorry, Sammy. Wow! 55! Yeah, that's how old I am now. And the Golden State Warrior, Steph Curry, is launched a whiskey earlier this year called Gentleman's Cut Bourbon. It costs $85 a bottle. 85. That better be some good bourbon.
Hi there, Mike. How are you?
Oh, and that whole George Santos thing, which was a complete joke, which I guess that's the political joke. The joke, that political joke that goes, hey, have you heard the good political joke? It's basically anybody in politics. Is that how it goes? Something like that. Well, He is a political joke, and he is in the works at HBO Films. They're going to pay him money, I guess, to make a movie of him. And the Veep, I guess, executive producer Frank Rich is going to be part of it. Wow, that guy shouldn't get any money for anything that he ever did. I think you would agree. Oh, and lastly, the PC market is finally growing again, with a 2024 projection to see an uptick of 8% in shipments for the PC market. A key assumption for this forecast is that new AI software and hardware is going to re-spark consumer interest in PCs. I don't understand that. Why would AI software and hardware get people interested in personal computers? I'm assuming this is versus laptops or tablets. But apparently, 8% isn't a huge percentage, but it's an uptick for sure with PCs. Now, does that mean they're going to get more expensive because there's going to be more demand? I'm not sure, but it has something to do with AI software and hardware. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley-Mont, look who it is. Hi, man. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I brought my horse down there.
That's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
I think George Santos is an embarrassment, but because he gone, there's less Republicans in Congress, and that's bad.
It's bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh. But what would you rather have? It's bad or have George Santos in office?
Well, all politicians are political jokes.
Is that how it goes? Is that the punchline? I can't find that punchline. I can't find any punchline for that matter. Look who else is here. Oh, man, can I make delicious root beer? Have some in there. Oh, wow, let me try this. Oh, wow. That's good. That has a nice flavor to it. What's in it?
I put extra root beer in the root beer this time, Mac.
No! Well, I guess we've traversed a lot on today's podcast. What do you think about anything we've covered today? You can call me here.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with more ways to reach me, it is a friend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.